Hello and welcome to the Sci-Fi Lab. As you can see, today we are given the priority to Dharma Initiative, one of our favorite companies from one of our favorite shows, Lost. There were a lot of questions left open in Lost. And that is a good thing because I think the writers wanted us to think for ourselves. So we've done a lot of thinking and come up with certain answers to certain very important questions. Now remember, these are theories, but we have had a small insight into the work of Dharma Initiative, and we hope to share them today. So we can ask ourselves, what is the island? Now imagine that the Earth was formed according to 3 laws of physics that we know, and quite many others that we still don't. And the island lies on this magnetic field that follows all 3 laws of physics and many more, and combines them in a way which we cannot imagine, since we have not yet found a way to do so. And its main properties, it seems, is it can control time, space, and consciousness. If one would look at it in the terms of quantum physics, we could look at it in the terms of Schrödinger's cat, but not in the way you're thinking. Imagine we put the cat in the box with the cyanide. Since we don't know if the cat will turn over the cyanide, we do not know if it is alive or dead until we open the box. So for that brief moment while we don't know, it is both alive and dead. Now the island would be if we opened the box and found 2 cats, one alive and one dead. Both scenarios have happened. And that is a way of explaining the island. So, why is this island interesting? Why have people come there since the beginning of time? Perhaps that's where life emerged. And why is the Dharma Initiative so interested in this island? Well, to start off with, it has certain biological properties that are interested to anyone who is alive or planning to be alive for a very long time. In the beginning, in the early 70s, Dharma showed through Dr. Chang that the island was able to manipulate consciousness and time. Now imagine time as linear and deterministic as we perceive and feel it today. Unfortunately, we do not have time travel. So to get to point B, we have to start at point A and travel the entire string. And that's how we should see time, as a string. Now, the time on the island is a bit different. Imagine that you can bend it, such as you bend a string, so that point A and B overlap and meet. And you do not have to go through a timeline to go through 2 points in your life. How do we know that this island has done so? Well, Dr. Chang shows it through transportation of animals.
This island have created a kind of Casimir effect, allowing the Dharma Initiative to conduct unique experiments in both space and time. This is the vault constructed adjacent to a pocket of what we believe to be negatively charged exotic matter. Great care must be taken to avoid leaving inorganic materials inside the chamber. The electromagnetic energy within the island can be highly volatile and unpredictable. Now, for your own safety and the safety of those around you, metallic objects must never be placed within the vault. In our first demonstration, we will attempt to shift the test subject 100 milliseconds ahead in four-dimensional space. For the briefest of moments, the animal will seem to disappear. But in reality,
Animals are able to sort of transport their entire body to another place without physically moving. And Dr. Faraday, Daniel Faraday, also exhibit this on his landing on the island. When he shoots a rocket or asks his friends to shoot a rocket from outside the perimeters of the island and calculates when it should arrive on the beach. But the rocket does not. The rocket is delayed, telling us that the time frame of the island is not the same as the one outside. So why is that interesting for someone who's planning to live a very long time? It means that the cells in our body, our consciousness, our brain, that is formed according to a deterministic linear time frame, once it is on the island, does not function the way it should. Diseases get slowed down, as is shown by the cancer patient on the island who has her disease eliminated through this process. But there are also negatives. As Daniel Faraday showed, he contracted a device that could form a magnetic field similar to the island and send consciousness back and forth in time. Now imagine, and we have to assume, that our actions are predetermined. Our consciousness will be at a certain point, and knowing how to send it forward, we can time travel, but not being able to change anything in either the past or in the future. And the entire island seems to follow that principle. That same device that Daniel Faraday constructed seems to be the entire island. So the island managed to move everyone's consciousness back and forth. It moved in time, but not in space, or the opposite at points. That is why it disappeared, why Ben could move the island from the sight of those from the outside of its parameters. And that takes us to the next sequence, why no women could get pregnant and survive on the island. Now, fetal development starts with embryonic development, which gives priority to the development of organs and heart. By the time the embryo becomes a fetus, at 12 weeks and on, consciousness starts to form. And in an island that does not follow the laws of biology, that follows different set of rules of physics than our own cells do, may be good for slowing down cancer, but it's not good for fetal development. Since the child cannot form a consciousness due to these shifts, it cannot sustain a life inside the womb. And thus the complication and the ultimate death for child and mother. Concludes what the island is and what it has done. Now, why is the Dharma Initiative so interested in this island? Well, if you found a time machine that can manipulate DNA, consciousness, time, space, and contain every property you thought was possible but couldn't prove, now that would be more interesting and worth to society, to the planet, than oil, diamonds, metals, stocks, technology, anything we today could think of. Because not only would it entail that we would find something we thought we could never prove, it would also entail that we could control life. We could manipulate life. We could manipulate consciousness in ways we didn't even know was possible. There are many mysteries left on the island, and I truly hope we can revisit and solve some of them. Thank you for listening.